For the Love of Money, The Night Watchman, by Lovey Smitham, Chapter 5. There were 2 wrapped and ribboned gifts on the president's desk. Marlene was excited. "For me?" she asked her boss. By the size and the shape of the long boxes, one might be a matching fountain pen and pencil set. The other one might be a diamond bracelet. "You sweet, sweet man," she cooed. "Patience, my dear. First things first, would you take a look behind my ear? There's a bump. I think it might be another one of those pesky blackheads." Marlene had to think quickly. He wants me to squeeze his blackheads in exchange for a lousy fountain pen? No. But for a diamond bracelet, yes. She took care of the blackhead. She opened the boxes, and she was not disappointed. "I could kiss you," she sang out. His bald head gleamed. "Oh, no, you must not do that. Mr. Gleason's approaching with his shoebox. You know what he wants." "Can't you get someone else to do that this time? You're the only one I trust completely with the keys. And Marlene, don't show the others the bracelet." Mr. Gleason motioned through the glass partition for her to follow him and his shoebox, tied with 3 thick rubber bands. I need to get in my safe deposit box, Missy." He always called her Missy. He was always in a rush to get there and to leave when he was finished with his business, but while bent over his shoebox and the safe deposit box, time stopped. He fondled its contents almost in a trance. He did not rush. She should have left town on Friday, not today. Today was Monday, Blue Monday it was called in Texas, a hard day traditional, when women washed clothes in a wash tub outside all day and hung them out to dry, waiting for the sun to dry them and fold and put them away. Meanwhile, she had beans cooking to be set on the table with homemade cornbread for supper. Blue Monday meant hard work, its reward, beans. Yes, Marlene, Ch5 should have left town on Friday. She had to face this. Could she pull it off? She brought her keys from a drawer that held the special one to partner with the key holders given when assigned the safe deposit box. Together, the 2 keys would ensure safety and privacy. A small room closet size with a table and chair provided extra privacy. Marlene accompanied Mr. Gleason briefly to insert her key along with his until it clicked. She pretended nonchalance, interested in examining her fingernails. She should have left on Friday, but her boss said he had a surprise for her on Monday, and here she was, with Mr. Gleason lifting the lid off his safe deposit box. He had taken off the rubber bands of the shoebox, peeked inside, and was satisfied. He prepared for the transfer of its contents. Mr. Gleason rattled the glass door in absolute horror as he shrieked, "My money is gone." The president rushed forward. He could see that the safe deposit box was empty. He asked him what had been in there before. "Certainly not money," he questioned. He snatched the top off the man's shoebox, and there was a huge stack of $100 bills tied together. "You weren't about to put this money in that safe deposit box, were you? That would be illegal." Mr. Gleason, whose ears had turned to deep red with fury, embarrassed and fear, who pointed to Marlene Ch5, her shoes glued to the floor. "That one, she's the one who took my money I had in there. She's always peeping over my shoulders. Every time I come, she follows me in here. She took the money for herself. I know it." His voice was rising. He was getting to the point of hysteria. Marlene knew it was a terrific sum of money, had been building up for months. What she could do with all that money that he emptied out of his stupid shoeboxes tied with 3 rubber bands every time. He was an old man with all that money. She was young with none. He had been aware all those times she was looking over his shoulder, counting it, coveting it, saliva farming at her mouth. He got pleasure out of seeing her envy. At this moment, with him pointing at her, shouting accusation, she was afraid. Stepping back, Mr. Morrison stepped back also and spoke to her in a hushed voice. "Marlene, get your things and go. This minute. We are in trouble here." He was hurting, perhaps more than Mr. Gleason. Disappointment was evident. Marlene had been his most trusted employee for 5 long years. Those two locked eyes, knowing they would never see each other again. Mrs. Morrison came when she received word there was trouble at the bank. She waited in her husband's office to hear his version. When he finally returned, she spoke. "Look at this. Marlene left her gift." It was a silver fountain pen and mechanical ballpoint pen to match. A desk set. The logo inside said Cross. "You certainly were generous," she told her husband.